this time, what I'm feeling is that there are a lot of changes that occur very rapidly, and that's my personal experience, but I think also just in general, across the planet, that's what we're experiencing. A lot of very quick changes and a lot of disruption to the planet in terms of, tsunamis and tidal waves and earthquakes and, all the things that the Earth is going through right now. And for some people, it can be a very scary experience because we don't really know what's going to happen, when things are going to happen, and there's sort of like two sides. There's the spiritual side where people are kind of excited about the changes and great things are happening, and I'm right there. I'm excited. And then there are also people who are very much in fear about what's happening, and they're not experiencing maybe the excitement of the changes, but they're experiencing the fear. And I think probably each of us, we're somewhere on that spectrum. Sometimes we experience the fear, sometimes we experience the excitement of it. And so, because we're human, to some extent, at times, we're going to feel some fear no matter how spiritual we are, how enlightened we are, or how excited we are about all the changes. So whatever little piece of fear might be in you today, I encourage you to just get in touch with that a little bit, and maybe even feel it a little bit, and see if you can just kind of look at it as an observer and be objective, or just kind of stand outside yourself and look in a little bit and say, oh, I didn't even know that was there, and maybe you'll discover something new. So, what do we need to know about the unknown? Well, the first thing that we need to know is that we don't need to know anything.
Yeah.
And that's the talk right there. I'm done. Can I sit down now? We don't need to know anything. Our minds want to tell us that we need to know what's going to happen. And our minds try to engage us and say, we need to figure this out, and we need to know when things are going to happen and when things are going to change, and what are the changes going to look like, what's going to happen on the planet, and what will my life look like, and all of these questions that we have that our mind wants us to really get enrolled in and really ponder and think about. And the truth is, we don't need to know any of it. And I know a lot of you here are very spiritually in tune. And, maybe there's mediums or people with psychic abilities, and, maybe people get premonitions, or what's the opposite of? I think a premonition is something negative. What's the positive of that? Just like a knowing, or, you see things of what's going to happen. And that's all okay. I'm not saying, shut down that part of yourself. But a lot of times, it's like, I call it mind candy. Where it's sort of like candy for our minds, of like, we get this intuition about what's going to happen, or we go see a psychic to get some knowledge about what's going to happen. And it's sort of a way to stimulate our minds in a fun way. And again, I'm not judging it and saying that there's something wrong with doing those things, but just know that, I want to say this in the right way, it's not a necessary thing. We don't have to know. And in fact, sometimes the less we know, the more we can, the better. Sometimes the less we know, the more we can surrender to the journey and be in the moment. This week, my mind wanted to know, well, what am I going to say when I get up there? And I'm not used to getting up in front of people and speaking on something that I don't know what I'm going to say. I usually have a topic and an outline and, all my stuff. And and it was like, no, you don't need to know. And squirming a little bit, but I'm, just trying to be in the moment and be with it. And my intention really this morning is just to be a channel for whatever message I'm supposed to speak. So the first thing we need to know about the unknown is nothing. We don't need to know anything about the unknown. There's a reason it's the unknown. There's a reason we're in physical human form. We're not in the etheric form where we could see more or know more. There's a reason that we're at this spot in our journeys not knowing what's going to happen next. And I can't tell you what all the reasons are, but I know that there's a reason that this is the way it's set up for us. And I know it can be difficult not to know what's going to happen. I mean, I'm the worst of all of you here. I want to know, but what I've come to understand is that when I don't know and when I can just be okay with that, then it just all dissolves, and I can find the peace that I have inside when I don't get the answers that I so desperately think that I need, right? So everyone take a deep breath. We don't really need to know anything. So the second thing that we need to know about the unknown. So now it might sound like I'm contradicting myself, but hang on. The second thing that we need to know about the unknown is that it's all okay. All right, so I want you to take a moment in your mind and just kind of look back over your life. Everything you've been through, all the struggles, all the pain, all the turmoil, all the celebrations, all the joyful moments. Everything that you've experienced in your life up to this point. And everything that you've gone through has made you a more beautiful person. Everything you've gone through has made you a stronger person. Everything you've been through has taught you lessons, and you've grown. And I want you to see that everything that's happened in your life up to this point, that it's all okay. And more than that, that you're okay. You're still breathing, right? Sometimes. You're still alive, your heart's still beating, you're still here. You're okay. And you may be going through struggles. You may be going through intense celebration. I don't know the details of your life. But all of it's okay. Do you see that? Do you really get that? So you can... Thank you. So you can take that knowing and that knowledge from your past, and this is where the past is valuable, okay? Your past is valuable. You can take that knowing that you've built up within yourself over time and over years. You can take that knowing that everything has been okay so far, and you've gotten through every challenge so far. Why would that all suddenly fall apart in this moment and your future wouldn't be brighter? Why wouldn't you have that for the future? So of course you do. And of course, because you've made yourself stronger through taking yourself through all of your challenges, you have even more strength for whatever's coming down the road. This talk is scaring me a little bit because I know when I get up here and talk that my life always takes this big dramatic shift. And so I'm not going to be scared because I know that every challenge I've been through is going to take me through to the future. But I just have this profound moment as I'm standing here and I'm like, oh crap! And I know I have the support of all you lovely people, so it's all good.
Teach what you need to learn.
That's right. You got it.